Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends of Arcadia Genesis. How are the five of you doing today? Greg?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Everything's normal. Nothing's changed at all for me in the last, month or so.
I have a very specific question just for you. On Shenanigans yesterday, we were talking about the difference between pro ball and college ball for football. And the people I was with were saying that college ball is significantly more interesting than pro football, and I wanted your opinion on this one.
There's a common argument amongst football fans in the United States whether college football is more interesting or professional football is more interesting, and it really kind of comes down to what region you're from, I think. So there are some rule differences that some people will quote as being like, this is why it's better and this is why it's worse, but really the rule differences end up being a wash. Some pro rules suck, some college rules suck. It is what it is.
What do you prefer personally?
I prefer professional football for the majority of games, but truly like the top end college football, like when Bama plays Clemson, right? Or like Ohio State plays Oklahoma, like the championship games, that's kind of the god tier of ball in my opinion.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what is the major difference between pro and college ball? Isn't the big complaint with the way like play is called, right? Do they like stop play in professional football?
One of the biggest differences is when the first down is achieved in college football, the clock is stopped until the chains are reset, right? And in professional football, the clock runs. And that feels like a very minor thing, but what it does is it creates a lot of opportunities for teams that are trailing to kind of like come back. So a lot of college football fans say we have the superior game because we have more exciting ends to games. They also have the better overtime rule, in my opinion. Another big difference is the college organization doesn't pay its players for.
I see that in chat. So you know that they're desperate to get paid. They're really working for that fame. They don't play their little arts out. They don't.
No, I was just being facetious. No one actually cares about that in the United States. It's why they get away with
it. Sean, what's going on with you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's all good. The world around me is not doing great, but
not
much to do about that.
Are we forever denied our coffee grinding? Because I know there are a lot of people. No, I didn't hear it. There are a lot of people looking forward to the coffee grinding earlier.
They heard it.
Okay, good. Must have been while I stepped away. All right, just wanted to make sure that the world wasn't so fucked that there was no more grinding.
Yeah, well, I got that electric grinder. Your old man, right? It's not the like long, low hum anymore. It's the very loud, tormented shriek that goes for about 10 seconds.
Okay. Did you not speak at length once about the advantage of manual grinders versus electric grinders?
Of burr grinders versus blade grinders.
Right, sorry.
But if you have an electric burr grinder, then it's
right. No, yeah, sorry. Classic mistake there.
Should have paid attention last time. Though, right?
Yeah, Nick. You not internalize all these things.
He was too busy slagging off while you were describing this.
Incorrect usage.
Getting slagged.
Slagging off would be like you mean like I can't even think what the right word is. You mean like no slacking off? Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Slagging off would be if I said like
tossing. You were tossing.
No, tossing off, that's something else. It's totally different.
Hold on. So speaking of British terminology, is it true that you call cans of like whipped cream squirty cream?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, God.
Well, you don't whip it, do you? You squirt it. I mean, I don't buy it. But
this show is not off to a good start. I know Neal got the name of the show right, but ever since then,
it's just been constant downhill. Ryan, how are you doing, man? Why don't you save us from this?
I am doing well. Yeah. I don't know. Surviving. That's the most anyone can hope for these days. I made bacon for breakfast, and then I made the mistake of cooking like eggs and toast in the bacon afterwards. So I just consumed probably like 1,000 calories of bacon grease. And
that's the best way to cook your eggs and toast.
Doesn't sound like a mistake to me.
Yeah.
We'll see. So if I have to run to the bathroom in the next half an hour,
that did not help. It is still downward spiraling. Faye, bring us out.
Oh yes, nice. Yeah, actually, there's not much to tell. It's been really quiet. I've washed my masks today because that was sorely needed.
Apparently that's the thing you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I was using the same mask for like the first couple weeks of the pandemic, and
well, you're still around. You know, you don't know if other people are, but you made it. That's good. No, I have one per day usually, so gotta wash them on Sundays.
Oh, I have like one per week.
Well, I know nothing about football, so I don't think I can help.
with the rate that I go out, I have essentially one per week, but it's about as good as one per day.
Because you only go out one day per week.
So we gotta get groceries at some point, right?
Yeah.
But I gotta wear them.
Order online.
So.
We have a small basket outside our front door that we just like toss old ones in and pull clean ones out of on a slight side to side division.
If it's the same basket, how do you know whether they're old or new?
Ask the wife.
You know,
honey, did I wear this yesterday?
I mean, the going out is infrequent enough that like they're probably fine in between uses. Probably.
Am I the insane person here? I might be. I have two
Why?
masks, and I wear one all week long when I go to work, and then I put it in the wash, and then I wear the next one all week the next week, and then I put it in the wash.
Not ideal.
It's not insane. I imagine a lot of people do that, but yeah, you are supposed to wash them ideally like every day, right?
Don't
like every
lick
time
the outside of them.
Or the inside.
Pieces?
Just because you're like drooling on it and breathing on it. And,
Why would
like,
you lick
touching
your
it.
mask? Now you're the insane person who's licking their mask.
It's
Hopefully,
like
nobody.
an inch from my mouth. How can you resist?
Nick,
I don't
tactile
need
instinct.
to lick everything that gets close to my mouth.
It's a good strategy.
It would be a very wet and sticky world if we all lived like that.
Nicholas, how are things in your part of the world?
Well, Stockport and Greater Manchester has been in increased regional lockdown for like a month now, which is getting lifted on Wednesday. So that's nice. Monday's a bank holiday, which is also nice. I've been at the pub this afternoon. Crusader
But
Kings
you were
3
under increased
Monday.
lockdown. How did you get to the pub?
Have to stay outside.
Oh.
Everybody gathers outside. Nice.
You can go inside with people from your household, but if you're meeting anyone else, up to a group of 6 people, it has to be outside. So it's outside the pub in the cold, and it's not really like a nice summer. It's the pain. Like we now and again we'll get like August will be nice weather, but this August has been not great. Yeah, everyone's been outside in the pub, so that's okay. Yeah, Crusader Kings 3 comes out on Tuesday.
You excited for that?
Oh, I'm so excited, Sean. Got no idea.
By Tuesday. They should release it tomorrow for your bank holiday.
I know. Well, I guess it's not a bank holiday everywhere else in the world.
Yeah, I really don't understand why Tuesday is just the standard release day for video games, because it really does hurt me.
I thought it used to be Friday when I was a kid.
Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe it came out on Tuesday and your parents didn't give it to you until Friday.
Maybe.
I didn't know video games came out as a kid. They just showed up at Hollywood Video one day. And I was like, I want that one.
Like, or like back when like the grocery store had a video game section for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Just like a tiny little rack with a bunch of video games.
Yeah. They're usually behind like a glass case with a lock, so I could never like thumb through them and look.
Oh.
But yeah, other than that, not much really. That's it. Okay. That's about it. Yeah.
Well, let us start our game. So we've made our characters, but why don't we kind of recap where we are starting? We're going to be starting in the town of Acropolis itself, which might contradict some things we said earlier, but it's fine. It's fine. And you guys have just been magicked into existence. There's a whole town moving on around you. Some people are brand new and looking around a little bewildered. Some people seem to have been here long enough that they're walking somewhere and they might know where they're going, or maybe they're just exploring. Malchus, god of chaos, in his form of Malchus the man, is standing around. He's like 5'8". He's got like his hair is sort of balding, but he shaves it, but like he hasn't shaved in a couple of days, so it's kind of like a little stubbly. The same thing with his beard, but it's like grown in a little bit more. So he's maybe 260 pounds. So he's kind of like heavy set and chubby, and he's looking around at the town, kind of like pleased. Looks at the five of you and goes, "Welcome to existence. How you guys doing?"
Kind of a weird name for a place, if you ask me. I say and look around town.
It'll make sense one day. Yeah, Acropolis. Welcome to Acropolis. I'm Malchus, God of Chaos. How are you guys doing?
Confused.
Makes sense. Well, this here is your valley. It goes way down there. There's like a river, mountains on the sides. One end over there, one end down there. And that end down there's got woods. And that end over there's got some plains and shit. I hope you make good use of this world and do great things. You guys are my chosen, except for you, he says, kind of nodding in the direction of Azul. Hey, we're gonna have some fun together, I hope.
Okay.
Do you play board games?
You know, not yet, but we could. Do you have a board game to invent?
It seems that there's a board checkered with pieces that move in various directions. It seems embodied in my head for some reason, maybe from another life.
Maybe. It's possible. I mean, you've lived a few lives before, but let's not get into that. That's not important. And he starts to look around, and then his like shoulders drop and his gaze sort of drops. And sort of coming up behind you is a woman. She is, let's see, somewhere in her like mid 30s to mid 40s, kind of darkish hair, more serious look upon her face as she walks up towards you. And you get this sort of feeling, this presence that submerges the mood. And this dark-haired, dark-looking woman, just like, facial expression-wise, seems to be spoiling the mood.
Isawal moves to hide behind someone, averts her eye contact.
I'm going to step in front.
Smart choice for the unchosen.
Hoping that Verasi does not notice them.
Yeah. Malchus kind of looks towards her and goes, looks like my sister's come. Let's see what she has to say. And walks past you guys over to her. And they begin to exchange a few words that are inaudible despite their near proximity. And it ends with her shaking her head and turning around and beginning to walk away in the direction of the woods. And Malchus comes back to you guys when the conversation wraps up. What were you going to say?
Azul is going to say to the four, while Verasi and Malchus are preoccupied, I don't know if we have much time, but you have to prepare yourselves. Verasi means
for what?
That's Verasi. So I'll look sideways to the goddess, and she means to kill you all.
That's a little dramatic, don't you think?
Well, I mean, they are gods. She's created a whole army of ogres.
Surely.
The other end of this valley, and
he will protect us, won't he?
I don't know how much faith to put in the Lord of Chaos.
Why would he make us only to be destroyed?
Yeah, maybe at this point they finish their conversation and Malchus comes back over.
He steps on back to you guys and goes, all right, change of plans. This valley is gonna be yours. My sister, Peach that she is, sort of agreed between her and me and the others that like no one would be in this valley. And you guys are here because like this is your place. She's not too happy about it, but that's okay because this is all planned. We're making a new world. There's bound to be conflict between us. This is really just like a small sample of scheduled conflict so that she and I can work out our differences in the long term. So you guys are gonna have to defend your valley, keep yourselves alive. I really hope you win. But if you don't, hey, then you guys all die and she'll be happy and our conflict will be resolved. Or maybe you can drive off her incoming armies, and we'll win, and then, she'll back down. The point is that she and I are going to get along a lot better after this whole conflict of who really controls the valley comes up. And I'm really hoping you guys are going to do great, and I'll help you out however I can. Looks around. We'll talk to these other people, but you five are special. You five are a little bit different, okay? I have a special purpose in mind for you all. Do you want to know what it is?
Is it to piss off your sister? Because it seems to be working pretty well.
Oh, I might have given you a little bit too much of myself. Yeah, well, that's one. I mean, I got a lot of motivations, a lot of reasons. Definitely, I want to piss her off a little bit. It's kind of fun. But while the rest of these plebs are building defenses or trying to arm themselves, my sister's really big into ceremony. She's gonna walk to the other end of the valley. She's gonna get her ogres, rally them to battle. Some blah blah blah. There'll be some grandiose. But she's super big into ceremony. They're probably gonna have a big meeting with candles and lights and nonsense. And you guys are our advanced scouts. Are you ready? Your job. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You're humans, mostly. And you got free will. Necessity for intelligence. Unfortunate. And he kind of pats Azul on the shoulder. We tried to have intelligence without free will, and it didn't work. So here you are. Reject. And anyway, advanced scouts. Your job is going to be to figure out what they're doing, what they're planning. She's going to walk. It's going to take a while. She'll gather her armies. She'll give a big speech. I don't know what they're going to fucking do, but you're going to figure it out while these people prepare the valley for defense. How does that sound? Come on, you guys aren't excited? Welcome to existence, man.
I said, let your will be done.
My man. Love him. The rest of you guys could be a little bit more like Jan. I know you have free will, but come on.
Suppose my name is now Jan. It is a pleasure to reintroduce myself to you all.
June, Jan, look, I'm the god of chaos. I sometimes mix up my vowels. It's totally fine. Don't take it personally. You're my favorite so far.
Did you make a mistake? I thought I was supposed to be in a college somewhere.
Change of plans.
I think I have a lecture coming up in the next hour.
Fuck your lecture. You don't need to go to school. School's for bitches. You go to the School of Hard Knocks now, the School of Malchus. You're going to go there and get some first-hand experience, and maybe if you survive, you can teach a class instead of being in the class, and then you can blow it off. No? God, okay. You guys are downers. It's fine. I'm going to go tell the rest of the people that they need to go prepare themselves for total annihilation by creatures 4 times their weight that are about to swing axes and clubs the size of their bodies at them. And I'll get them to work that out while you guys try and figure out existence and go see what their ogres are up to. Welcome to Acropolis. Here's a town. I think you know the rules of society, but if you have any problems, whatever. And the chubby man with the balding head and the stubbly neckbeard stumbles off into the town. Starts waving at people, greeting them friendly.
I chase after him onto my knees and start clawing at his cape. No, you can't leave. You can't leave us here.
Turn down your gain a little bit. He's like, what do you mean I can't leave you here? What's the problem, huh? Talk to me.
I don't know. Hang on. I don't know how to turn up my gain on soon.
You're fine now, actually.
Okay.
What's the distance?
Why are we here? The only reason we're here is because of you. We need you. What else
you
will we do?
You don't need me. What? Come on. How could you need me? I mean, clearly you need me because you don't have any spells without me. But you got to make your own way in this world. It's gonna be an exciting adventure, huh?
We'll die. We'll be consumed by that thing.
Possibly. Yeah, that could happen. You better prepare yourself because your life might be really short. So you should make it the best life you possibly have. Okay,
I think I just start to stay on my knees aghast. As he walks off.
Guys, look, it's gonna be great. You guys don't look like you're maybe I know existence is a weird thing to pop into. I'll give you a couple of hours to get used to reality. How about that? And then why don't you go shopping or something? In fact, he reaches into a pocket and pulls out a handful of gold coins, maybe 40 of them, and just hands them out to you guys. Here, have some spending money. And if you think of anything you really need and you can find me, I'm so happy to help you on your journey.
Hey, I'm not above taking 33 gold.
Yeah, he just hands you the gold.
Okay.
Great. I'm going to go talk to the sheriff, who I think I magicked into existence in the jail cell instead of outside of it. It'll be easier to talk to him this way. If you need me, I'll be at the sheriff's office. Bye-bye. And waddles off. And here you guys stand in the middle of town.
Are you prepared to make our journey into the forest? If so, let's head forth at once.
Do we have any shopping to do?
I came into existence with all I need as gifted by the gods.
Well, I think I know who our fearless leader is.
What do we do in the valley?
We must determine the size and shape of Rossi's forces, determine their plan, and report back to Malthus. For a cleric, you do not listen very well.
A little bit overwhelmed.
Understandable. It does seem you are to die soon.
You speak with such confidence.
How could I not? We four are chosen of Malchus, of the gods themselves, and one reject.
I came here to save you all.
Save us from what?
From Bratzi's death squads. Were you listening?
Where were you before?
It's a little fuzzy. I feel like I bumped my head, but
It is all right. You are not expected to be as perfect as the four of us. Place my hand on your shoulder.
I look at my hand that has a massive black eye tattooed on it. I was like, yeah, perfect. So, I'm not sure, but didn't you say that there were some people who were created before us? Wouldn't they possibly know about what lies in the forest and how to get there and how to gather information best? Or...
Yeah, I just told you. She's got an army of ogres, and they're coming this way.
These other people in the town, were they here before, or are they new as us?
They are your kin.
And you're not?
Look, I'm here now, aren't I?
I look to Sean's character. Sorry, hang on. Sean, what's your character called? Kale. I look to Kael'thas and say, you said something about a lecture? What?
I think there might have been a mistake. I think there was supposed to be a college, and I was going to give a lecture on the properties and malleability of water.
What's going on?
This place seems nice.
Valley. Yeah, except for the thousands of hungry ogres that wish us dead.
It's around now that a person walks up to you, kind of bumbles into a middle-aged man, and he goes, I'm sorry. Hi. My name is Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Where are we? What's going on?
The same thing, Bob.
Okay. Cool.
Listen, Bob, would you like to be a chosen one? Because we have a few people who are currently struggling. You know, there might be one free space on our team, so if you want to come.
I guess. I don't really know. Sure.
Excellent. Bob the chosen one. Here we go. We're now 6 people. No problem.
How is Bob geared? What does it look like he was created for?
He looks like he was some sort of merchant. He's got like it must be like a 3 or 4 pound set of scales just hanging off of his right hip. He's got like 2 large coin pouches on his right hip. A backpack that has a couple of like bulges in it. So he's clearly some sort of trader or merchant and is just bumbling around through the town for the first time. He's got nice sandals on. His pants are like pre-worn, like they're already starting to fade and rip a little bit. It's the start of a whole new fashion.
Maybe Bob has something for us.
I do?
Maybe. What's in your bag, Bob?
It's a fucking great question. And he unshoulders it and opens it up and starts pulling things out. It includes a map of the valley that you're in. He's like, I don't know. Here's a map of where we are. It looks like what you can see, more or less. And it's like starts scratching at the edges because it's just sort of like a big rectangle, and then there's this trapezoidish shape in the middle of it. The outside kind of blurred, and he starts scratching at the blurred spot or at the darkened edges. It's like, I feel like this map is incomplete or something. I don't know. I got these scales for weighing things.
Tell me, Bob.
An abacus?
What is it you know how to do?
I guess the same stuff as you. Exchange between metals. No?
An exchange between metals.
Yeah,
Such
you know
as
how
these that our friend is carrying. I point towards the gold that was handed
I open my hand.
Abaddon.
That looks like 4,300 copper exactly.
You see, I was gifted this blade, and I just kind of like show the two-handed blade strapped to my back in leather. And I point to the like weapons arrayed across our two clerics, and I say, "We were chosen for fighting. We are to protect this valley. You, sir, were gifted a different gift from the gods. It is your duty to hone that craft, the best you can, to honor the gifts you were given. I do not believe you are meant to come with us."
Well, if that's the case, then I'm pretty sure the two-handed sword of a chosen one of the gods is a pretty valuable thing. I can give you 100 gold for it.
I could not part with it for mere coins. It is an extension of myself.
But like,
perhaps instead we can trade the other direction. That map there could come in useful for us.
yes,
Why don't we
it could.
give you some of these shiny coins that were gifted to us by the god of Malchus himself in exchange?
All right, yeah, I could do that. I'd probably sell this map for 10 gold pieces. He seems confident in his assessment.
I offer the
So spake
coin.
the merchant.
Like, I offer my hands with all of the coins in them and let him just take his 10 gold.
He just counts out 10 golds and hands over the other map to you. Looks at June and goes, "Thank you for helping me understand my purpose, I guess." Oh, thank God. That means I don't have to fight with you. Wonderful. And he like pats a passing cow on the head and heads off down the road and starts like hawking wares to random passersby who are just as confused and bumbly as he was a moment ago.
June, is that right? We were just meant to fight and nothing else?
You heard the command from the god himself. Until at least his wishes are met, I see no other path forward.
Then we should get on with it.
I mean, I don't know. He didn't seem particularly trustworthy, if you ask me. Did he seem like somebody who had his marbles together?
You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
Did you look at me? I say.
This might be a good time to describe our characters for our audience, because I don't think we have any artwork of you guys yet.
Head over to the Discord for
but not for
Matthew
everyone.
Berger's beautiful. There are sketches of every character.
The favorites are done, apparently.
What? There are sketches of all 5 characters.
Are there really?
Yeah,
I think so.
June is the only one who's completed, but yeah. Admittedly, Abaddon's is a bit manic. I can't exactly figure out which of the demonic visages on the sketch sheet is him, but
I think the bottom one, maybe, in front of the storm.
In any case,
I would
we
like to
should still
point
give
out that
verbal
not
descriptions.
everyone who watches the streams uses Discord, right?
Yeah.
So, in-game
So yeah,
descriptions are
let's still
valuable.
describe with our words, but
Yeah. Give me a word picture of your characters, and we'll just go in order, starting with Nick. Who do you look like, and who are you? Tell me about yourself.
Okay, I am Abaddon, a cleric of Malchus. He's just over 6 feet tall. He's got leather armor with a chain shirt, a 2-ended flail at his belt, and a medium shield on his back, and a holy symbol of Malchus hanging from his neck. Medium-length black hair, sort of hanging loosely over his face and constantly being pushed back, and bright blue eyes.
Yes. And June. Greg, who are you?
I'm playing June. He's a man with amber eyes, stern in countenance, with a shock of kind of like brown hair. He wears an orange haori decorated with blue flowers, kind of in the iconography of Ephra, if you're familiar with that. A blue woven belt ties it over a hardened kind of shell of leather, protecting my chest. I have metal greaves tied around just kind of black pants and a single gauntleted arm. What else? Oh, I tie an oversized two-handed sword to the back of my character with leather cords and have a small thrusting weapon in an ornate sheath tucked into my belt.
Nice. And Kale?
Kale is pretty tall and broad for a wizard. He's got that 17 con going for him. Stands at about 6'2". He's got unkempt dark brown hair, wears a plain goatee. He wears a black coat with gold trim. He's very aloof and he stares off into space a lot. I told Matt to think of like a grad student who really likes to go hiking and camping a lot.
Nice. Yeah. And Izul.
Izual is tall, slight of build, and elegant. They are strikingly beautiful in an uncanny, otherworldly way. Pallid blue-gray skin and long silver hair with no facial hair. They're wearing a gray hooded robe with 2 enormous bloodstains on the back emanating from the shoulders. And maybe dangling from a belt or on the shoulder is a fearsome bronze mask. For battle, which it sounds like we're geared for, I have a diamond-shaped chain hauberk that comes to a point below the chest, below the sternum, leather bracers and greaves, and they're wielding a spear and a shield.
And I hear you using gender-neutral pronouns. Is your character ambiguous or androgynous or?
Yes, yeah. Zul's gender is not apparent. Yeah, they are. Okay. Yeah. They're.
And
yes, both of those things. Ambiguous and androgynous.
Perfect. Last but not least, we have Nyx. Would you describe yourself, please?
Nyx is about 5 feet 6 tall. She has straight red brownish hair that goes all the way down to her waist, so really, really long, slightly unkempt. She has very dark green eyes. She's wearing a goat skull headdress, which looks a little bit odd in the middle of town. She's kind of skinny, and her poses are usually a little bit standoffish. She doesn't seem to be a particularly warm person, at least at first sight. She has a really ugly tattoo on her right hand, which seems to be an eye with black ink. She doesn't wear any shoes. She's just standing in the middle of the town square barefoot. She has a long dark green cloak with a hood on. A very long rugged skirt as well, which is dark gray, brown, black, something in between. It's hard to tell because it looks pretty dirty. She's wearing lots of charms and little crystals around her neck and her wrists. And she carries a small square leather satchel and a belt in which she has tucked a dagger.
Okay. As you guys take a look at each other, you seem to already know each other's names and just like the most basic information about one another. Definitely nothing too personal. And the town here is pretty simple. It's mostly one-story wood or brick buildings. There's a couple of adobe ones on the edge. If you look down the valley, you can see this nice, gentle, winding river with occasional little farmhouses and little pens and pastures with goats and cows and sheep growing through them, some orchards, some fields, a bunch of farmers standing around in the middle of a field with like a hoe over their shoulder, having, just been here for a few minutes trying to figure out their life. And when you turn your eyes towards the sky, it is a clear blue day with not a cloud in sight, but 2 very apparent comets hanging in the sky. One with an upward-ish trajectory and one with a downward-ish trajectory. So they kind of look like they're heading in each other's directions. I know that typically comets their tail does not indicate their direction. It just points away from the sun. But in this world, things are going to be a wee bit different. And their tails have separate opposite directions. Clearly not influenced by the sun. Yeah. All right. So what do you guys want to do? Are you ready to do something, or do you need to sort out what's going on?
Maybe we should collect some supplies first. Does everybody have everything they need?
I start looking through my bag and pulling out.
Do any of you happen to have any strong acids on you?
What?
I have a
Excuse
strong
me, Bob.
ass.
Bob.
Bob kind of pokes his head up and comes running back. Bob here. What can I do for you?
Could you help me find a strong acid? Just a little bit.
Yeah. I found a market square in the town over this way. There are a couple of buildings around there. Maybe one of those are going to be something to help you. I also think.
Why don't we go take a look?
Yeah, I think the god is talking to people as well. He's gathered a whole bunch of folks.
Acid.
Well, I mean, he's a god, right? Come with me. And Bob will lead you through the town streets of Acropolis until you hit a market square that you just sort of intrinsically know operates on Tuesdays. And that's it. People come out into town, they trade on Tuesdays, they spend the rest of the week making their goods or whatever, and then everyone comes and holds like an open air market once a week. And Tuesday is just that day. Today happens to be Tuesday, January 1st of year 0? Year 1? I don't know. However you guys want to count it.
What is Malchus talking about?
He is standing next to a sheriff with his arm around him, giving a speech about how, like, together you can overcome the arch enemies that you're about to face. Thrasi, my lovely sister, is about to march upon you with a bunch of ogres and destroy you all. And if you don't want your existence to have been just a couple of days, you should do something about it. The sheriff here is a good guy. Pats him on the back. Is totally going to help you out. Look at it. Look how strong. Look how handsome this sheriff is. Look at the sword arm. And he like feels the guy's muscle, which like seemingly grows as Malchus squeezes it. Strong guy right here. Great leader. He's going to help you all. He's going to teach you how to fight. He's going to help you barricade. You're going to want to build something to keep the... yeah, shouldn't... Spoilers. Anyway, he's going to help you out and you're going to totally kick those monsters' ass. Who's with me? Acropolis on 3. Ready? And the town is kind of like, what? And he's like, come on. 1, 2, 3. Acropolis!
Acropolis!
A couple of people cheer. And he's like, we'll get it. Don't worry about it. And he like whispers something in the sheriff's ear, taps his sword, which like flashes with a blue light for a moment, and then walks on to down the road. Sheriff is left standing on like a set of gallows in the middle of the town square, and starts talking to the people about, well, I guess we should... I think there's an armory, and we should get some weapons, and he said something about building a defense or a wall. If there's ogre, I guess we should build a wall. Anyone? Is there a carpenter here? And someone raises his hand. He's like, can you build a wall? And the carpenter nods, and he waves him over, and they, start talking. And they start, like, asking for other townsfolk, and it'll continue for a while, so you guys can act now.
Okay. I'm gonna start with Malchus. Actually, Malchus seems like the kind of guy who would carry some very potent acidic substances on him. So I'm gonna walk and say, "Excuse me, do you have any acids on you?"
Yeah. You need some acid?
Yeah. The acidic, like pH scale acidic kind of acid.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Why don't you roll me a 1d20 there, Sean?
All right.
Let's warm up some dice.
Jesus Christ.
Woo! Is that good or bad?
That's not very good.
It's not great.
It's not great. He comes over and like taps you on the forehead, and like some acid starts to like bleed from a spot where he just plopped a little bit onto your forehead, and it runs down your face, burning you for 1 point of damage.
Sweet. I'll collect a little bit of that acid, try and keep it away from any blood that comes sizzling out.
You have more than 1 HP, right?
Yeah, I know I have the most HP in the party.
Okay, good. I know some of you only have 1 HP, and I had no idea who it was when this went down, so...
Yeah, no, I have the most in the party, because...
I'll turn around to the others, and I'll just say, listen, nobody's asking this one for anything, okay? Are we in agreement? Okay, great, good. Good talk. Moving on.
Yeah. So
No more questions.
All right. So I collect some acid in a small vial and deposit it into a interior coat pocket.
Yeah. A little bloody, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Guess I'll go and buy rations for everyone.
Yep.
I'll go to one of the marketplaces and find someone that's got food.
Oh yeah, Bob, do you know where this camp is that we're going to? Do you have, is it marked on the map perhaps?
They just said the end of the valley. I assume they mean that way. He says, pointing towards the forest end.
Does the map have any kind of legend on it that shows distances?
No. No.
So,
Excuse me, Mr. Malchus, sir. Do you happen to know how far away the end of this valley is?
stop asking him questions.
It's like call it 2 days walk, or 1 day float. If you can make a raft, you could float down the river. Oh, there's a guy over here.
Oh, that kind of float.
There's going to be a guy who's going to make some whiskey. I'm going to make him in a few minutes. And you could get a bottle of it, and you could float down the river with the bottle of whiskey on maybe you can build a wooden raft. That'd be a way better way of getting to the end of the valley. You can sun yourself, splash yourself with a little water if it gets warm. You could drink all day on the river.
Doesn't
that sound better than walking?
Ogre. How far out does the ogre activity go?
Oh, they start the forest is the demarcation line. That's about 40 miles away, and the river just flows right into the forest. So, actually, the river comes from a spring in town. Do you want to see the source of the river?
You bet I do.
Yeah, you do.
Before
Come
I do,
on,
I would
you're
like
my
to make a
favorite
quick
now.
suggestion.
Yeah.
You have the ability to give us raft technology. I think it might be prudent to one day in a future event have the technology for a raft that goes on ice and snow available for your party, just as a thought.
Sometimes you need to give people difficult choices so that they can grow. They need to overcome challenges. If you guys ever want any extra challenges, if you ever feel like you just need a little bit more difficulty in your life, I'm your man, And I can always throw problems at you. Do you guys want to fight a chimera? We could fight a chimera right now. No, wait, hold on.
No, thank you.
Sorry,
No,
we're looking at the beginning of the river. Sorry, I get distracted easily. Come with me, let me show you the river. And he ignores the person he was just talking to and takes you a little bit, a block over the other way. And you can see that there is a river that kind of flows through town. In town, it's got stone walls that hold it at bay, sort of like a proper river through a modern ancient city like London or Paris. So it's got the embankments, which might be normal to Europeans, but to us Americans is crazy talk. Anyway. He leads you up to the river, and it just ends at a large fountain and seems to just bubble forth from the fountain that holds it in place and then flow down and through the middle of the town. Look at this. A river fed entirely by a single spring. That means this spring is outputting an entire river's worth of water every second. I mean, not it's got the same flow rate as the river is what I'm trying to say, which is pretty good for just a spring in the ground. I'm pretty proud of this one. Do you know how much water, do you know what we had to do underneath the ground in order to make this spring create this much water? It's pretty great. Feeds the river.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Kyle's fascinated.
Yeah. Feeds the second biggest, maybe the first biggest river in the Ogre Forest, which we call the Darkened Wood. I'm pretty proud of that name.
Original.
Excuse me?
I didn't say that in character, sorry.
He can read your mind.
I don't mean
Cleric
It
Malchus.
is the beginning of creation. Are not all things original?
Thank you, June. Look who's back to number one in my favorite hero chart. Love it. Love it. Anyway, that's enough talking to you people. I'm going to go. And he
have fun.
Continues to walk off.
how many rations can I get for 30 gold? I walk over to someone who has food and hand them 30 gold pieces.
They will trade you ration dry 6 silver. So that's going to be
for a person day.
Yeah.
That's 3 gold a day for all of us. So I can get
Don't you
10
still
days.
have a
Everyone can
mule,
get 10
Sean?
days.
Do I have a mule?
Didn't you buy a mule at character creation?
Oh, right. Yeah, we did do that. So we do have a mule.
Okay, so we've got 30 days of rations then, I think.
Tie those up to the
10 days of rations for each person.
Sick.
To the mule. So 50 days of rations.
Yep, your mule is loaded up with a lot of food.
Right. I turn back around from the car, carrying all the food. Carry it over to the mule. Put it on the floor. Okay, then I think we can go.
One more thing. Is there somebody who's selling sheep? Or goats, something like that?
Yeah, there are cows and sheep being herded through the town right now, coming to market. People, walking alongside of them, knowing that this is sort of what they do. And, yeah, you could find someone and buy a sheep.
Nix, I already spelled all of
Shoes or sheep?
Cheese.
Sheep?
Oh, it's not really for eating, I have different plans.
You have more coins?
Do you have what? Does anybody have a coin left? Did we start with our normal goal? Is that only what he gave us? Is that the total of our
No, you
stuff?
should have started with whatever money you didn't spend during character creation.
Excellent. I have one. That's fine. I'll pull one out of my bag. I'll approach one of the sheep selling people. I'll slam the gold coin down on the desk or whatever he has, and I'm gonna say, I need some fleece, some wool, and some butter.
Fleece, wool, and butter. Yes, ma'am. And he'll move through his herd of sheep, find his mule that is carrying some of his stuff, and pull out a bag of fleece. What was it? Fleece, butter, and
Wool.
How is fleece different than wool?
I think the way it's made is different. Like, fleece is technically like a sheepskin, I believe.
Okay.
With, like, the wool on top of it. So if you, like, just shear the sheep, then you could have an entire...
Do you remember the way the golden fleece was portrayed in Jason the Argonauts?
I don't.
No?
Yeah.
Then I can't help you. That is the only instance of fleece I have ever been familiar with.
Well, he will sell you some fleece, some wool, and some butter.
Excellent.
Yep.
I'll grab it. I'll take the change if he gives me any, and then I'll head out.
I think you could probably actually get butter from a different person, but it's fine. It's all there. And I don't know how much you need, but a gold will probably cover it.
Sure.
Anyone else need to do any shopping in town?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy. They're very minor spell components. Do you want to like just hand wave those or?
I mean, if you need
I'm basically gonna buy like
butter,
split dried peas. I already got the acid, which was kind of the harder thing to get.
There is a magic shop in town, actually.
I think the split dried peas are probably available from other means.
We've got some in our rations. Yeah, we've got some in our rations. Probably.
Oh, I should probably pick up color spray as well. So yeah, I'll go to the magic shop and ask about. Isn't it like colored sand or something?
Colored sand, 3 different colors of sand, I think. And they've got like what do you call them? Burlap sacks filled with different colors of sand that the magic shop owner is all too happy to sell you.
All right. Let me try and find. Oh, because I'm on the wrong thing. I moved off of spell components. There we go. Color. And
the magic shop owner's name is Clara.
uncommon 10 copper per color, or is it just 10 per spellcast?
Per spellcast.
Okay. So I'll buy 3 spellcasts of color spray. Magic missile. Does magic missile require anything significant?
No.
Just verbal and somatic.
Sweet. All right, then I got pretty much everything. Fist of Stone doesn't take anything. Magic Missile doesn't. I've got both Wall of Fog and Color Spray, and then I already got the Acid for Metamorphose Liquids.
Love it.
So looking around at like my party's frail, fragile bodies, can I get an HP count from people really fast?
Yeah, I've got 1 HP.
Same.
Okay. So I have, I believe, 6. So now 5 because I took 1 damage. So we've got a couple people with 1. Yeah. So in that case, how much is
like level 4 HP or some shit?
How much is a sword?
Zool has what, 5 HP, and Nyx has 4.
Actually, wait. We have an armory, right?
There is an armory here that the sheriff has access to.
I'm gonna walk up to the sheriff and say, "Excuse me, you're managing the armory, right?"
I am, says the man.
Can I borrow a sword from that armory? We're the advanced scout that are going to toward the edge of the darkened woods, I think is what he called it.
Oh yeah, I know about you. I didn't know who you were, but I knew that there were going to be some of you. You need a sword?
Bit weird. I kind of knew you were the sheriff, but I don't think we've ever met before. My name is Kale.
Thank you.
And my name's Little Jimmy.
It's nice to meet you, Kale. My name is Rob. It's a weird name for a sheriff, to be honest. Maybe I'm a corrupt sheriff.
Short, strong name. Good for a man of the law.
Oh, I thought it had more to do with like robbery and burglary. I was wondering if maybe I'm supposed to be corrupt and evil and stealing things from people. Maybe it's like an antonym, right? You calling a bald man Harry. Maybe that's why my name is Rob.
Right. Or like the crime boss Justice or something like that.
Right. Okay. Whew, good. I was worried that I was actually like an evil person.
No, I think you're gonna do just fine, Rob.
Thanks, Kale. Thank you.
Anyways, could I trouble you to borrow a sword? I wasn't
suppose.
exactly expecting it, but it seems like I might be not quite the vanguard. I think that would not be great for my station, but I might have to step in for the party at a moment. I can bring it back after the venture. I don't intend to be fighting with a sword for much of my adventures, but
yeah, I think we mostly need spears and bows to keep them, as far away as possible. I don't think our people will be using short swords or arming swords against ogres. He will take you to the armory, which is right attached to the sheriff's shop. And the sheriff's station.
Sure.
And do you need a short sword?
There's just a row of like Rob mannequins like lined up along the wall.
Do you need an arming sword or a short sword?
Let's go with. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm unproficient with both, so let's go with the arming sword.
Great. He hands one to you.
Sweet.
And you have like dagger proficiency or something.
That's me.
I didn't take it. Oh, one thing I wanted to ask you about, Neal, before we actually like start the game. How many? There's nothing on your sheet. Ryan was talking about like martial arts as an option to not take attacks of opportunity when you punch. Where is that a weapon or a non-weapon proficiency, and how many points is it?
That is a weapon specialization, I think.
Okay.
Ryan knows more.
Oh, is it specialization?
You can take proficiencies in it. It's probably one slot per martial art. And
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's only
I
fighters
have
that
Fist
can
of
take
Stone,
it.
and if I can do it without taking attacks of opportunity, that is ideal.
You probably only have one weapon proficiency at level 1.
I can buy more. I was gonna swap. I have a not particularly useful non-weapon proficiency. I was just gonna swap.
Only
it out.
fighters can exchange non-weapon for weapon.
Oh really? I don't have any other weapon proficiency, so it doesn't matter at the moment.
You don't have a weapon proficiency?
I mean, I was gonna put something in sling maybe, but if I can do martial arts,
I think anyone can be proficient in martial arts, provided like the backstory for it.
Yeah.
Only fighters can
it's
specialize.
like cheap and easy to get, then I'll consider that because Fist of Stone would probably do us more good early on than a sling.
If you want to use your one weapon proficiency on a martial art, I think you can. You can do like the punching, and then that makes your
Yeah, because Fist of Stone is significant. I mean, melee wizards are generally not wise, but it's significantly better than a sling.
I mean, you do have the most health as well, so.
Although that doesn't matter because I have 10
I
AC.
feel like you should be less of a Fist of Stone and more of like a flowing strike, right? Because you're a water bender essentially.
Which turns out I also am a bit of an earthbender and airbender. I'm just absolutely not a firebender. Not at all.
So you need to be specialized to make the
Okay.
attacks without
I'll just take
it
sling then.
provoking.
I think you just need to be proficient. I think you,
No. Under
Okay,
specialization.
if it's specialization, I'll just take the sling. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Martial arts
'Cause I hadn't
specialists can
solidified
make
my
martial
weapon
arts
proficiency.
attacks against armed opponents without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Okay, I'll just put it in sling.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and then slings are coppers. So I can take that really fast.
All right. So, as the party gathers the last things that they need and sets out on a weird quest at the beginning of existence without really understanding too much of the world, only knowing that they're about to fight or die, why don't we take our first break? And we'll come back on the other side with a little bit more of Legends of Arcadia Genesis. Bye-bye.